Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Media Files. Today, well, got ourselves yet another, Goodwill update. Yeah, so we've got some Blu-Rays, we've got some DVDs, and we got some books to go through. Yeah, nice small haul of stuff here, and what can I say? This is between both different Goodwills that I went to over. A couple weekends ago and hadn't really had a chance to, um, sit down and record everything. So let's do that, shall we? So, okay, well, let's get through the books first, shall we? Because it's all physical types of media are allowed here on the channel. So, so let's go through some stuff. So, mostly sci-fi and one type of espionage thriller type of novel. Okay, so first up, let's just get through the espionage here. So first up, now this book is part of the Fargo series. Yes, I absolutely love this series. Which of course features the characters of Sam and Remy Fargo. If you've not read any of these books, they were first introduced in the book Spartan Gold, where basically they are a husband and wife treasure hunting team. And the first book I ever read out of theirs was The Tombs, and that one was really awesome, so I've been trying to hunt down the rest of the series. And in my mind, as I'm reading this book, if they ever get around to making these characters into a film, if they get onto it within the next couple of years, the person I could really see playing Remy Fargo is Karen Gillan. Of course, Nebula from Guardians of the Galaxy, because her character is kind of a bit of a redhead, and the way her description is, I think it fits her personality pretty much to a T. As far as playing Sam, the character of Sam, I was trying to think probably Nathan Fillion around the time of Firefly, but obviously not right about now, but you just never know. But anyways, so we have, let's see, I think this is book number, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 10th book in the series. We have The Gray Ghost, and but what's interesting about these books is that as well as with a lot of other Clive's novels, is that the first chapter is always dedicated to some sort of historical event that happened in the past, and then of course we jump forward about a couple of decades, or about a couple of 100 years later, give or take, somewhere around there. But I think there's about 15 books total right now in the Sam and Remy Fargo series, but he's also written other great stuff, including the Dirk Pitt novels, the Numa novels, the Organ, the Organ Files, and Dirk Pitt Adventure, Isaac Bell, and the Kirk Austin Adventures, which are from the Numa series. But great author. If you enjoy really awesome adventure and whatnot, definitely check these books out. All right, so up next, we're going to jump into a piece of childhood here. Now, I have been I thought I had this book somewhere. I don't know I think I may have lost it so many years ago. But what can we say? This movie was absolutely huge when I was a kid. I was only 10 years old when it came out. And I can't not remember whatever happened to it, but I'm glad I finally have this back in my possession. We have the novelization of Batman Forever, written by Peter David, and of course, stuff like this, they don't really, they still kind of somewhat do this a little bit, but nowhere near as much as they used to. The third Batman novelization, so there we go. And these are very hard to track down. Definitely from an popular anime series in the 80s. And, well, it's still kind of kicking around a little bit because it's still popular, and I really want to get that big, huge box set, which is probably, well, it's way out of print, but I know that the Blu-Rays are now out, and I want to try to hunt down the Blu-Rays sets of these. But, hey, if I can try to find the books, too, that's kind of cool, because I've never read any of these books before. But we have the 10th novel in the, let's see here. Let me look in here and see which, yeah, it's the 10th book in the series. We have, from Robotech, we have Vivid Invasion. Yeah, I've never read any of the Robotech novels, nor have I really watched a whole lot of Robotech, but, you know, there we go. So then up next, this one I had to grab, and I've been on the hunt for this book for quite a while, and it's hard to find. What can we say? Definitely, one for the fantasy genre. Of course, it's written by Robert Jordan, who, of course, has done the Wheel of Time series. I finally have in my collection one of his Conan novels. Yes, so here we have, finally in my collection, we have Conan the Destroyer. Yeah, now I don't know if they used this. I want to say that they probably used this story for the movie. I don't know. I'd have to check on that, but yeah. But I still need to get a lot of Conan stuff though. Copyright 1984. Okay, I would say this is probably what they used for the second movie. So yeah, there we go. So then finally, we have one from Lucasfilm. Yeah, now they would write some original novels, kind of way back in the heyday, and I think this is actually a trilogy of books, I believe. Yeah. So here we have the last book in the series. We've got from Deborah Chester. We've got Lucasfilm's Alien Chronicles, The Crystal Eye. Sounded interesting. All I saw was Lucasfilm Alien Chronicles, and I had to snatch it. So there we go. Alrighty, on to the Blu-rays and DVDs. So, let's see. Let's just get through what's already on top. We'll just kind of work our way down the bottom. Okay, well, shall we say we gotta add some cartoons to the collection, right? Well, I had no idea that this was even still going on to this day. Apparently, one of my favorite cartoons from the 80s apparently is still getting stuff made. Now, I do not have the second series of this, because I thought that's what this was, but apparently this is the more modern, updated series. But we have G.I. Joe Renegades, Season 1, Volume 1. So I'm like, hey, pretty cool. I've never actually watched this particular version, but I'll give it a shot and see what it's like. I'm sure some people will probably comment down below saying, oh, it's not that great. But I'm like, you know what? It's G.I. Joe, and in my opinion, as I'm looking at some of the cast members back here, it's got Clancy Brown in here, so that's good enough for me. And then they actually also had Volume 2, and apparently this is all of it. So I'm like, sweet. So I have the entire series of G.I. Joe Renegades. That's awesome. So yeah, there we go. It'll be a fun time to sit down and watch some G.I. Joe. Alrighty, up next we got a Blu-ray. Now, this movie, I've had this before on DVD. And I was like, you know what, it's time to upgrade, because this is one of my favorite movies of all time. And, of course, I remember when this movie came out. I was on a church bus trip, and so during one of the stops, we were scheduled to stop at a movie theater to go pick out, people can watch whatever they wanted. The majority of the bus wanted to go see Armageddon. And I had already seen that movie, like, it was about a week or two before we even went on our trip. And so my mom was like, she didn't really want to watch that. And I'm like, okay. She was like, well, what do you want to see? She goes like, well, I kind of want to see this Zorro movie. And, well, that movie was The Mask of Zorro. So we watched that. And we had a fun time. Even she had a fun time. And this movie it's really good. And it's one of those types where they just don't make them like this anymore. They really don't. And it's a fun, squashbuckling adventure. A lot of stuff is done in camera, post CGI, or, pre CGI, early CGI era. But, this movie is just awesome. It's so good. So good. Maybe I'll do a close-up video review just of that movie alone. All right, then up next, now this movie, I think I have like the old edition, but I was like, you know what? I want this special edition because this thing is butt-loaded with extras. And, yeah, let's just say that it's Kubrick. You need Kubrick in your collection, and this is a must for any sci-fi fan. You need to have Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey. So we got the Star Child there on the front, loaded with extras. By the way, several documentaries, and I think I might have the Blu-ray edition of this, but I definitely want the 4K edition because it has the original audio mix that was done when it first came out. But what's cool about it, though, is that you got, once again, you got the Star Child there on the disc, and then, of course, you have the apes there with the beginning of the man scene, which takes up like the first 20 minutes of the movie. But such a great movie, and, well, nothing like this really has ever really been done like that since. So up next, well, we're going from sci-fi, and, well, gotta go into a little bit of Western here. So, now I've not actually seen any of these. I just kind of grabbed it because, well, it's got several of my favorite actors in it, and, well, 3 different movies, but all written by the same guy. So here we have the 3-movie collection of the Louis L'Amour Western Collection, which features the Sacketts, Coninger, I believe is how you pronounce that, and Catlow. Catlow stars Yul Brynner, who, of course, did Westworld. Sam Elliott, he's, come on, he's Wyatt Earp's brother. He's in Tombstone, for God's sake. He's Virgil. That's all you need to know. And then, of course, you also have Tom Selleck in there as well. And then we have a little bit another Western here. We have a Gene Hackman Western. Also with very young Candice Bergen. For those of you who don't know who she is, she was in a little TV show back in the 90s called Murphy Brown. That shows you how old I am. Sadly, that show has only had 1 season released, and it didn't sell very well. So, yeah. Anyways, so here we have a Gene Hackman type of Western adventure in Bite the Bullet. The whole trike there with the train in the background. I'm like, yeah, that looks pretty cool, so why not? Then we have a comedic drama courtroom series. Heard of it, but I've never actually watched any of it. But what can we say, though? It stars, the man himself, Andy Griffith. We've got Matlock, the 4th season. I know, it's just a random season that I picked out of Matlock, right? Well, that's all that they had. Gotta start somewhere, and then I'll work my way back. Alrighty, so next we have something here which is actually kind of cool. I absolutely love, I love History Channel. I love watching documentaries, especially about history. But one thing that I love what they do is I love it when they do, like, docudrama type stuff where they will have people that will reenact events of history, and sometimes it's even better than what Hollywood does, which is kind of funny. But so here we have a 2-disc set. I don't think I recognize any of the actors on here. Maybe I might. Yeah, I don't recognize any of them as far as I know. So yeah. So anyways, we have the 2-disc set of The War Worlds, which is about World War I and World War II. And it's a 3-part miniseries, and it looks pretty interesting because it's mainly focused on Roosevelt, Churchill, Stalin, and, of course, Hitler. So, yeah, there we go. Alrighty, and, well, what can we say? let's add some more Disney Blu-rays to the collection. But first, we have to dive deep into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Surprisingly, this is one I don't have. I thought I had all of them. Apparently, I didn't. But what's so cool about this is that they had this thing marked at like $2.99. I'm like, sweet. And on top of that, well, it's a sequel. But when I looked at it, I'm like, dude, is that what I think it is? And it's actually a lenticular cover with somewhat of an embossed logo on it. And it's a 4K. Yeah. So we have the 4K edition of Ant-Man and the Wasp with this really cool lenticular slipcover. And it's kind of hard to tell, but Ant-Man and the Wasp right there, that is actually embossed. It's raised, which is pretty cool. And on top of that, it's not even opened either. So, like, sweet, brand new. Alrighty, and then up next we have, three of my favorite Disney films of all time. Now, mind you, if you can find these movies with the slip cover, apparently they're worth more. By a lot, from what I understand. Particularly the Diamond Editions. If you can find any of these movies with the slip covers, get them. Because apparently they're going to go up in value at some point, or so I've heard. Alright, so first up, this definitely needed an upgrade in my collection. Sure, there was a little bit of controversy with the soundtrack when it came out, but, that's why you still have the original versions, folks. So, but what can we say, though? It's still a great movie. It's absolutely hilarious. One of my absolute favorites. We've got Disney's Aladdin. Yeah, with the slipcover, too. It's embossed, which is awesome. And, of course, you got Robin Williams, of course, voicing the genie. And, just overall, it's just a great movie. It's just plain and simple. Up next, now this one's probably my, I would say definitely one of my top 3 Disney animated movies of all time. Now, yes, I have the DVD of this because I was trying to hunt down the DVD for years and nobody had it because, come to find out, Disney put stuff away in a vault for so many years, and then every generation they re-release it. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, lo and behold, so many years later, I finally bought the DVD, and then I do have the 25th anniversary edition of it, but this particular edition, I couldn't really pass this up for $3.99. No, $2.99. I'm sorry. Excuse me. We have the Diamond Edition of Beauty and the Beast 3D edition, which features both the 3D and the 2D edition, the DVD, and of course bonus features, jam-packed with stuff, with the slipcover, mind you, and it's also embossed and raised right there, which is awesome. And it's also nice and shiny too. You can really tell how nice and shiny it is there. Yeah. Alrighty, then up next, this one was a childhood favorite of mine, and what can I say? It still is, but let's just say it's got probably my favorite villainous out of all time. We have, of course, the Diamond Edition of 101 Dalmatians. Yeah, which is cool because everything's all embossed here. And, loaded with extras and whatnot. And, what can I say? It's Cruella de Vil, and it's awesome. So what can we say? That's awesome. I like it. I'm not. So, and then, right next to it, I'm like, you know what? Like, are you serious right now? Well, I had to snatch this, because this, I think, in my opinion, this edition may be worth something, but I think I bought it again. Why? Why did I buy the same movie twice? I'll show you why. So, first and foremost, let's just say that this was a huge surprise to me because, here we have, once again, 101 Dalmatians on Blu-ray. But this is the limited exclusive Disney Movie Club edition, which has, that is right there. That is not a sticker. That is actually embossed on the slipcover. All the Dalmatians are embossed. The logo's embossed. Cruella's embossed. And even the Blu-ray and DVD logo is embossed. I kid you not. And then this, I was kind of surprised when I saw this. Took it out of the sleeve. Are you seeing that right there? This is not even opened, folks. I found this thing at Goodwill. The limited release, the exclusive Disney Movie Club edition, because that thing's shut down big time, like, fairly soon. But at the time of this recording, I'm like, dude, I so have to grab this. And I did. And and I think there may be some bonus features that may be exclusive to this. I don't know. But what can we say, though? This is, if you can find any of the Disney Movie Club DVDs or Blu-rays, get them, because apparently they're going to be worth something at some point. But yeah. And well, that basically about does it. Not a bad haul between both between both Goodwills. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't, because I know one time when I was there, I found one of my favorite animes. I found Akira, and it was in the metal tin set, and I remember having to get rid of that set many years ago because the disc was damaged, and the place that I bought it at was in Florida. So I wasn't going to drive all the way down to Florida to repurchase the thing. And, but thankfully that movie's back in my collection. Anyways, but yeah, like I said, you never know what you're going to find at a Goodwill. You just don't know. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes not. All right, you guys. With that, like, subscribe, hit that notification button, hunt that stuff down. And with that, I'll see you next time.